Okay, you can see your slide, huh?
Yes, we can see it now.
Oh, no. This one is the last session which we completed on the very first one about the Sangha. The Sangha method. Okay, so to recap again, let me just briefly go through again. You all, I hope, can recall the 52 mental factor. If you can recall properly, there are 7 universal, 6 occasion, 4 with ignorant one, then 3 with desire, 4 with aversion. This under the akusala one, and 2 with doubtness, and 1 doubt. Okay, so this couple of them, 4, 3, 4, and 2, form this akusala plus the doubt. Sorry. Then we have 19 universal wholesome. Remember? Then 3 absences. Then 2 illimitables. And finally, 1 wisdom. I hope you all still can remember. So this is under the 52 mental factors. And further to this, you all still can recall the 7 universal Citta-cetasika. These are the basic role and accompany all the citta. I mean, universal, essential to all the cittas. So basically, these are the what you call the 7 which are need to be present for all the cittas. So one thing is that these rudimentary cognitive function, they are difficult or impossible to distinguish separately. That means very hard to differentiate all the 7. All the 7 comes in. So we can treat this 7 as a multivitamin pill. So you remember under these 7 universal, we got contact, we got feeling, we got perception, then we got intention, 1 pointedness, and mental vitality, and finally attention. So this is the 7 universal. And then you can remember the 6 occasional. So this mental factor, they do not automatically arise with all form of consciousness. Okay, because you call it occasional or particular, it will arise when necessary. So all these 6 not necessarily present at the same time. And these 6 can be present as a wholesome or unwholesome. So the 6 of them, if you all can recall, initial application, sustained application, decision, effort, joy, and wish. Okay, so this is just an introduction to recap what we have learned earlier. Then we kept on the lecture 9 okay, just to go through again for your refreshing your memory. So all the 7 universal is present in all citta. And then 6 occasional, as we say, some of them were present. And then the 14 akusala citta-cetasika can only arise in the 12 akusala citta. And remember, then we have the 25 sobhana citta-cetasika, the mental factor, only arise in 59 sobhana citta. So this one is something like a motto. You need to remember by heart, by hook. You try to embed into your memory forever. If you're not Abhidhamma, this is the only way. Because as I know from the monk, he told me, it's a memory work. Once you keep on going through, it will be embedded in your memory forever. And this Burmese monk, they have to learn by heart to study Abhidhamma. Okay, hold on. So we also go to condition which you're able to recall. Akusala Citta only 13 ethically variable and 14 akusala can arise. Then the moha chatu kaya, these have consists of moha, ahirika, anotapa, udacha are the common Citta-cetasika. And then under this category of loba and dosa, Citta-cetasika, they two do not come together. Loba Citta-cetasika arise only in the 8 loba mula cittas. So remember this, loba is only the 8 loba cittas. And then the dosa Citta-cetasika only the 2 mula citta. And then isa, macharia, kukucha, combine only in 2 dosa mula citta, but only on circumstance occasionally and separately. So this is the way they behave. So we also need to remember this. If you constantly revise through, it will embed into your memory. Okay? And then the ditti and mana arise only with loba, but separately and occasionally, and also not always. Same thing, ditti, wrong view, arise only in the 4 ditti samputta citta. So the ditti Citta-cetasika only happening on the 4 ditti. And then mana only in the 4 ditti vipatuta citta, as mana and ditti do not arise together. So all these things you need to remember well. You have to constantly go through again, okay? Just to write it into your memory. And then Sangha Naya, which we introduced the last lesson. It means which mental factor can the various types of consciousness combine? I mean, which citta arise, which are the mental factor will surface. So that's what we learned in the this particular lecture. So now the cittas are the point of departure, and look at which Citta-cetasika will arise at them. Previously, earlier one, remember, we do the mental factor, and then which are the citta that arises. Okay, for this particular 2 of them, many students find them very, dry and also very taxing to remember the figure. And we did trace the diagram, okay? So I don't know how many of you, Mr. Wong, Brother Wong, very, very good in having another better chart than mine. So whatever means, if you got the time to go through one by one, then it's easy understanding for you. So for this one, the last lecture, I put out a chart. The circle represents type of consciousness. And then the figure inside represent how many factors, mental factors are there in the respective consciousness. Okay? So this is what we learned in the last session. Can you remember? I can't go through because I need to cover the next lecture. So I will be giving you another notes. This one, this note will be very good if you can go with your charts. Then it will tell you how each number arises, okay? And which are the things present in each group, okay? So you need to refresh yourself and go back and understand this one with the charts. And then with the reading, which I'm going to supply to you later, the unwholesome consciousness with the associated mental factors. All right. So there are 12 types of unwholesome types of consciousness. As I told you in the last session, this have been broken down in your YMBA textbook. They never really give you all individual explaining on each of these consciousness. So I try my best to break it down into very first one, like consciousness accompanied by joy with wrong view and unprompted. So in this citta, there's a total of 19 mental factor arises. Okay, 13 plus 4 plus 2. Okay, I'll supply you with that kind of notes. These notes I got it from somewhere. I found it very useful. So I will supply to you after the class so you can read through. Okay, this is the one by one which we cover the previous lesson. These are some of the taken out from various textbooks. So it will tell you, remember the citta in the year one. This is how this particular, each of these citta operate. Then I go to the second one, the second tab, unwholesome consciousness. Consciousness accompanied by joy, associated with wrong view and prompted. So this one, 13 plus 4 plus 2 plus 2 equal 21. So you go back and trace back again how you get this number. I have a notes to explain to you. So trace the charge plus the round circle, you should have no problem understanding it. Then this the type of consciousness accompanied by joy without wrong view and unprompted. Okay, remember your year one, all the consciousness plus and minus which one, then you come up with all these variation. Then we go to the fourth one, consciousness accompanied by without wrong view and prompted. So this one you get 21. All right. So this is, if we see the book, this is how you get all these number. And so on, we explain for the rest. The ninth type consciousness is rooted in hatred and is unprompted. And then this one actually is a repeat of the earlier one with the plus and minus one. Okay, so you all read through and then one by one go through. You should have no problem in following the same scenario. Then here it said, in total, it comes to 20 mental factors. Of these, jealousy, stinginess, and remorse are optional. They are independently of one another according to the situation. Because you cannot have all the three arise at the same time. Remember that? So the other mental factors are always arise. 12 plus 4 plus 4 equal 20. Okay? So you need to understand which citta at which type of condition, then which mental factor will not arise. Okay? You understand this way, it will be very easy for you to digest. It's hard way for you, I know. But this is the only way if you want to really thoroughly go through, understand it with the charts plus the circle diagram plus the notes I gave you, you slowly trace. This is your homework, and hopefully you all can understand it. So this is the rest for next one, 22. And the next one, the 11th tab, is the absence of decision. You get 15. And then the 12th one, the 12 last unwholesome type consciousness, you'll get 15. So these are the things we cover the last session. I hope you all can recap. If not, go back again and revise again, okay? And slowly take your time to digest it, okay? So today we're going to cover lecture 10. Hold on for the slide to come out. Okay, this today lecture, we cover lecture 10, we're doing with the rootless consciousness. So rootless consciousness, we're going to trace what are the mental factors will arise. Can you see the circle diagram? So there are a total of 18 of them. Remember rulers? Rulers are those functional ones. So can you recall in the year 1, there are a total of 18 jitters in this rulers jitters in this group. Now we're going to understand how are they divided. So there are 3 groups here in this particular group of jittas. The first group belongs to the akusala vipaka, and the second group belongs to the ahetuka kusala vipaka, and then or what I call the resultant of kusala, and the third group is ahetuka kriya. So the first 2 groups we belong to what I call vipaka, and the last one belong to kriya. So basically, these are called the Vipanchavinaya chittas. So they are 10 chittas connected with senses. Because remember, these senses, remember, we have seeing, hearing, smelling, tasting, and touching. So each of these has 2. So they are 10. So they are called DVI, means 2. So pancha means 5. So they have this category of 2 times 5. So these 2, 5 consciousness, example, seeing consciousness, is a result of kusala or akusala. Remember, when you see, either you see it right or see it wrong. That's the only thing that accompany how many citta will arise for good and how many citta will arise for bad. So we look at this citta, there are only 7 universal accompany these 2 types of seeing consciousness. Remember, this so-called citta or the sense one are governed by these 7 of these universal mental factor. So you want or don't want, all the 7 will arise. So the same is true for hearing consciousness, smelling consciousness, tasting, and touching consciousness. So with these 10 citta, there are only 7 citta-cetasika. Or each one. So example, the eye consciousness has 7 citta-cetasika. Year also have 7, and so on, so on. That's why you see in the next chart, this is explaining what I'm trying to put across to you. Okay? The unwholesome, wholesome, and also the functional. So we are concentrating on this wholesome and unwholesome. Okay, so this is another chart that show you how these Ahetuka Cittas behave. So they are break into 10 Vihara, 2 Sampatichana, 2 Upeka, 1 Somanasa, 1 Pancha Vajana, and 1 Mano, and finally 1 Hesitupada. This one, special one. This one only reserved for Arahant and then Buddha. And so all these qualification one, higher one, only have this. We are not able to achieve the last one unless we are of the same kind of them. So remember these two all hold 7 because there are 5 of them, the senses. So 5 for the good, 5 for the bad. Okay? So total is all these 10. So what I'm trying to explain here is talking about those 10 of them. So these 10 rootless type of senses are consciousness, namely 5 as the result of unwholesome karma, and 5 as a result of the wholesome karma, have only 7 concomitants, namely the 7 universal mental factors. So each of these, good or bad one, each have 7 this called universal in each of them, I mean the consciousness. You want to know each of the how this base kind of consciousness work. You go back to year 1, you can trace back. Okay, it will tell you which is the consciousness, the rootless consciousness that operate. Okay, so I kind of so much just to refresh you. So your job is to go back and see which are the 10 of them. So for the sake of clarity, they have been circled with the dotted line 7. So in each of them, there are 7 compulsory one, universal down there. So the next one we are looking to is that for this kind of consciousness, there are 2 receiving chitta. You remember 5 senses? When your eye or your whatever organs are in contact with an object, when you touch, you see, you smell, that means you have 2 receiving chittas coming in. And then after that, you got 2 investigating chittas. And the 5 sense door, everything means scanning, all the 5 accompanied by neutral feeling. So when this, what I call rootless one, you got no such thing as good or bad thing. You just absorbing. So you call that neutral feeling or indifferent. So there are a total of 10 of these concomitants, or what I call 10 of these mental factors. Why they are called 10? Because they got 7, this one compulsory one, 7 universal mental factor. Plus, there's another 3 more inside. Vitaka, Vichara, and decision. So 7 plus 3, there are 10 of them. We look back at the chart. I mean the circle. This one. This is the receiving. This is the investigating. All right. So if you want to know, you have to go back to the charge, which are previously given you or your brother won't given you. You can trace one by one, and then you will get 10 of them. All right. So I'm going to tell you how this, I say, called the Samapicchana. So there are two, one from the Akusala Vipaka and one from the Ahetuka Kusala Vipaka. That means one good and one bad one. So the result is, what feeling do they have? So they have the upeka feeling, that means indifferent. So this what I call the Samapatichana, the two are accompanied by 10 Citta-cetasika. That means 7 universal plus Vitaka plus Vichara and the Adhimokkha. Then you see that the Piti, Viriya, and Chanda do not arise with them. Okay? Because this Viriya is strong and active. So the Ahetukas Citta are not strong enough. That's the reason the Viriya will not arise. So they are thus considered as rootless. Example, they are like a tree without roots, so they are not strong. So they are accompanied by so-called upeka feeling, and there's no piti since they are weak, and chanda does not accompany them. So with these two samachitana cittas, there are only 10 citta-cetasika. That means the 7 universal plus the vitaka, vichara, and adhimokkha. Okay, so this is the first 10. Then next come the sanditara cittas. There are 3 of them. Okay, 3. 1, 2, plus here 3. So these first two are accompanied by this upeka, and by how many cittas? So according to the circle is 10. So the universal also plus the vitaka. Hold on. Okay. Hold on. I make a mistake. The next one is called the Somanasa Santika, and I mean these two. Sorry, my mistake. The second two 10, followed by 11. So here you have Somanasa. So Somanasa means beautiful. So you add in the piti. Okay. Okay, a mistake. Hold on. I'm talking about these two. Sorry, I go and jump to here. These two. So these two also have 7 universal: Vitaka, Vichara, and Adhimokkha. Same as the top one. So this one form this what I call the Sanditara Cittas. Then we look at the next one, the 11, the 10 followed by the 11, the next circle. This one have the Somanasa Santirana. So how many Citta-cetasika here? And then here, because Somanasa, we have one more thing. so manasa, we are happy. So happy, we have this piti coming. Happy means happiness. So we add piti, and so we get 11 Citta-cetasika. Remember, earlier you got 10, but because you have this piti coming, so we got 11. So we get it. This 10, and this 10 plus 11. So these are the figure you can get. If you go back, you do the tracing, you should be able to see which are the number all inside. So the next one, 10, 11, 12, the last 3 circles. This is called the Mano Dava Vachana mind door everything. That means mind door scanning. So with this mind door, there are 11 Citta-cetasika in it. So the Virya accompany the Mano Vachana, and the Mano Vachana has 2 functions. We have not come to a function yet. It will be later explained in the following chapter. So Mano Vachana has 2 functions. When it arises in 2 sense door, it functions as Votavana. That means it's the determining consciousness. That means it will help you to answer whether this is go ahead or stop. So this determining factor, consciousness will make you make the decision. So you may not know it because it involves thought process. Remember the 17 thought process. So when it rises to the 5 sense door, it's called determining. When it rises to the mind door, it's called the Mano Vachana. And its function of turning to object is a function of scanning or everything. So the Mano Vachana is accompanied by Virya. So that arise in Mano Dava are stronger than rise in the Pancha Dava. That means the earlier 5 senses one. So this one is the 11th one. Okay. It means the investigation chitta that is accompanied by present feeling also has joined it. So it's 7 plus 3, 11. I remember the previous one, 11. So the mind or everything chitta accompanied by neutral feeling, and the 17 ruler step of consciousness is accompanied with 11 concomitant, 11 mental factor, namely 7 universal factor plus these 3 plus effort, so total 11. Okay, so this is the second last one. And the last ruleless chitta is a smile producing consciousness. So joy is added to this factor and is therefore associated with 12 mental factor. You get 7 plus 5 equals 12. I mean, there are 7 universal, and you have Vitaka, Vichara, Andimokha, Virya plus Piti. The only thing missing is the Chanda. So there are total of 12 Citta-cetasika arise in this HC2 pada, and this only qualified for the Arahant and Buddha. Okay, so this one will explain all how each of these Citta-cetasika in each of these so-called consciousness arise. All right, for you all? Any question? This form the rulers one. Let me refer back to you to the previous chart. Let me see whether I can get it. You may be confusing, but you need to go to the chart and trace it.
Brother Lau.
Yeah.
Sorry to disturb you. This table is actually very useful.
You have another one, right?
But if you label, can you hear me?
Hold on, I can't, very hard to come out. Hold on. Let me share with you.
So I'm suggesting is that the table that we are projecting now, if you can label the individual chitta, that would be easier to understand. Otherwise, for beginners, it's actually quite difficult to correlate.
Okay, I will try to bring out this chitta. Can you see? This one? What we're talking about this is this one.
It's still the same, the same slide.
Yeah, same. Remember here? One is the hold on. So remember, you see this one? The Dwava Pancha Vina. This one, the 10 of them. Can you see?
It's still the same slide.
Same side.
But there's nothing there. There's nothing. It's still the same.
You see?
Did you change anything?
No, this is a fixed one.
Are you referring to slide number 4?
This slide.
Oh, this is slide number 2, right?
The Sangha method. This is Sambhogya.
I think you are still on your lecture 10 Abhidhamma PowerPoint slide, right? But you're referring to some sort of table, is it?
Yes. This one 7 and plus this 3. You got it? All total 10.
Maybe you need to stop sharing and do a new sharing on the material that you're sharing now, because we still see the old slides.
This is one.
Because from our screen, what we see is the slide for lecture number 10. You are showing us with 3 groups of circles.
You mean this one?
Yeah. What you are referring to, if you have something new, then you have to stop this screen sharing.
No. It's still following the old one. The old one is to go in detail how you get all these 10. You got it?
Have you any new material?
So far, the new one is an explanation.
Okay.
Explanation, I'll give to you this one. Not this one. This one is the repeat of everything. Hold on.
You have to stop sharing first.
Okay, hold on. This one, this is the one I'm going to give it to you. You see it? You see it?
Yes, this is a new one.
This is the one I can share with you when I later post out to you. So this one, you follow the instruction here. You explain to you very clearly which are these rulers chitta. and then how you get the mental factors. Okay, you follow the charts, you should get whatever stated down here. You got it? This one I just now spoken to you all, this one. Okay, so this is the what I call extra note I am giving to you. Then the front one explain the unwholesome consciousness and the associated mental factor. This one also explain quite clearly what are the extra one inside each of these citta. Okay, sufficient for you. Any question? Because you still need this particular, what you call, one. You need this for tracing of all the, each 10 of them. The old charts. Like this one, you got the 7 universal, then plus these 3, it'll give you 10. You got it? Then followed by the next one by one, you trace away. Hello, everyone in? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes. We can see the chart.
Hello, everyone here?
Yes, yes. Now we see that it is your list of your documents.
A document, hold on. You all read through this, you able to explain to you each and every one of them. You got it? You
Yeah.
just follow the circle charts, and then each and every of these mental factor, you just add it in with the charts, you're able to understand.
Okay.
Right? Because this one I find it very useful. They explain each of these so-called consciousness and which are the mental factor that will arise. Okay? I found this one very useful because no other book able to present it not such a good detail. Do you get it? You read through this with the charts, you're able to trace it. Any question? My brother Wong got another chart, right? I think that one is much clearer.
Yes, I sent to the group already. All right.
You have that charts, you send to them again. Probably some of them lost it.
Yeah, I will try. But now I'm at outstation, so I don't have.
Okay. Take your time.
Okay.
Okay, any question? If not, we are closed for this rulers. Then next session we'll proceed to the next one. Any question you raise up again? Any problem? This one, if you want to understand, you still need to go to the charts and plot individually. And by following the so-called this so-called circle. It's very easy for you to understand which are the mental factor present in each of them. Okay, this circle much more easy to present compared to the rest of it, because this very hard to explain one. You have to slowly go to the chart, follow the figure, how you get 7. These 7 are all the universal for akusala and kusala. And then you get how to get all the 10. Okay? You got it?
Yeah, yeah.
I have other one, but I think if I give you, you're more confused. Okay? So this is the best way I can help you, because last time my teacher used to give to me all figures. Very hard to figure out. Just remember, here there's one, the chart alone, it said the Vinaya, Vienna, the Citta, 10 for akusala and kusala. So you have to trace all of them, okay? And then, oh, sorry. The Vienna is the universal one, 7 of them. Then we have 2 Samatipachana, you have 10 of them. So you 2 have a Upekha Satitana, you have 10 of them. Then another Pacha da Vinjana. So Vajrayana, there is total 5 of them holding 10 Citta-cetasika. You got it? So all these, if you want to really understand, you have to go to a chart and then one by one trace it. So there's a total of 10. It's very correct. And then how you get the 11 one is a Somanasa Santidrana, 1 each, and then the Mano Dwava Javana, 1 each, and this one whole 11 Citta-cetasika. And finally the Hesitu Pada, 1 of them whole 12. These are just given by all those Abhidhamma master. They never explain in detail of what whole inside. So you need to trace back which are the thing that is dropped and which are the thing is added in. I don't know how exam test, but normally what I know is that previously was tested is they want you to show them the number in each of this category. I mean, each of these consciousness arise, how many mental factor? Normally it's multiple choice question, very tricky. So they give 10, 11, 12. So you will decide. This one, very dry one, you need to have patience, you need to have solely analytical skill, then you're able to understand each of them holding how many Citta-cetasika in each of the consciousness. Okay? So this one, we will end this rootless one until the next session that I'll meet you. Okay or not?
I think we're okay.
Is it all right?
Yeah, okay.
So we will end this session today, and then we'll continue another time when you schedule another one.